Now we come to the great group of verses. This is the very last, Vangisa, the Arahant Vangisa. This Vangisa in the Samyutta Nikaya, there's a chapter on Vangisa. He's famous for being able to be inspired and suddenly utter some beautiful verses. 12:09. When I have really gone forth from the home to the homeless state, these reckless thoughts from Kanha come upon me. 12:10. Great princes, great archers trained with firm bows, 1,000 steadfast men might surround me completely. 12:11. Even if so many more women come, they will not cause me to tremble. I am well established in the Dhamma. 12:12. Well established in the Dhamma means he must have attained vision of the Dhamma, attain right view and become an Arya. 12:12. Once only I heard from the Buddha, the kinsman of the sun, of this path leading to quenching. My mind was attached thereto. 12:13. Evil one, if you assail me as I live thus, so shall I treat you, death. You will not see my path. 12:14. Giving up liking and disliking entirely, and thoughts connected with the householder's life. One should not crave for anything, for he is a monk who is without craving, having no craving. 12:15. Whatever there is here connected with form, inhabiting the sky and earth, plunge into the world. All that is impermanent and is decaying. Understanding thus, the wise wander about. 12:16. In the basis of rebirth, people are bound to what is seen and heard, and touched and thought. Being unmoved, drive away desire for this world, for they call him a sage who does not cling to this world. 12:17. Then intent upon the 60, full of reflections, they have entered into unrighteousness because of being ordinary individuals. But that monk would not have gone to a sectarian party, how much less grasps at what is wicked. 12:18. Worthy, concentrated for a long time, not deceitful, zealous, not envious, the sage has attained to the peaceful state. Conditionally quenched, he awaits his time. 12:19. Abandon conceit completely, Gautama, and abandon the whole path to conceit. Infatuated with the path to conceit, for a long time you have been repentant. 12:20. Soiled by disparaging, struck down by conceit, people fall into hell. People struck down by conceit grieve for a long time when reborn in hell. 12:21. For never does a monk grieve who is a conqueror because of the path, having entered upon it properly. He experiences fame and happiness. Rightly they call him seer of the Dhamma. 12:22. Therefore be without barrenness of mind in this world, full of exertion, pure, having abandoned the hindrances, and having abandoned all conceit, making an end by wisdom, having become calm. 12:23. I burn with desire for sensual pleasures. My mind is on fire. In pity, Gautama, tell me a good extinguisher. 12:24. Your mind is on fire. This is the Buddha speaking to him. Your mind is on fire because of perversion of perception. Avoid pleasant outward appearance accompanied by desire. See the constituent elements as other, as pain, not as self. Quench the great desire. Do not burn again and again. Devote the mind, intent and well concentrated, to contemplation of the unpleasant or the loathsomeness of the body. Let your mindfulness be concerned with the body. Be full of disgust with the world, and develop the signless. Cast out the latent tendency to conceit. Then by the full understanding of conceit, you will wander calm. 12:27. That word only should one speak by which one would not torment oneself nor harm others. That word indeed is well spoken. 12:28. One should speak only pleasant words which are welcome. When what one speaks without bringing evil to others is pleasant. 12:29. Just now this earlier part where he says, I burn the desire for sensual pleasures. was we saw the sutta, I think the Khuddaka Nikaya, where a lot of well-dressed women came to the monastery, and I think he might have been alone or what, not sure. But when he saw all those women, all the memories from the past came to disturb him, so he was very much disturbed. 1229. Truth truly is the undying word. This is the eternal law. In truth, the good say are the goal and the Dhamma grounded. 1230. The sure word which the Buddha speaks for the attainment of quenching, for the putting of an end to pain, is indeed the best of words. 1231. Of profound wisdom, prudent, skilled in the right and wrong ways, Sariputta of great wisdom teaches the Dhamma to the monks. 1232. He teaches in brief, he speaks at length. His voice is like the sound of the minor bird. He produces quick-wittedness. 1233. Hearing his sweet voice as he teaches it with a sound which is lovely, pleasant to hear and delightful, the monks give ear with happy minds, joyful. 1234. Today, on the 15th day, full moon day, 500 monks have assembled together for complete purity, seers, cutters of bonds and fetters, unafflicted, with renewed existence annihilated. 1235. As a wheel-turning king, surrounded by his ministers, goes all around this sea-girt earth, even so disciples with triple knowledge, having left death behind, attend upon the victor in battle, the unsurpassed caravan leader. 1237. All are sons of the Blessed One. There is no chaff here. I pay homage to the destroyer of the dart of craving, the kinsman of the sun. 1238. Over 1,000 monks attend upon the wayfarer as he teaches the faultless Dhamma, quenching where there is no fear, the faultless Dhamma, quenching where there is no fear from any quarter. 1239. They hear the spotless Dhamma taught by the fully enlightened one. Truly the enlightened one shines revered by the Sangha of monks. 1240. You have the name Naga, Blessed One. You are the best seer of seers. Having become like a great cloud, you reign upon your disciples. 1241. Going forth from his daytime resting place, from desire to see the teacher, the disciple Vangisa pays homage to your feet, great hero. 1242. Overcoming Mara's devious ways and paths, he wanders, having broken up his barrenness of mind. See him producing release from bonds, quite unattached, dividing the Dhamma into its parts. 1243. For he has shown a manifold way to cross the flood, and since the undying has been shown, seers of the Dhamma stand immovable. 1244. Light maker, penetrating, he has seen the overcoming of all the standpoints. Knowing and experiencing it, he taught the best to the five. 1245. When the Dhamma has been well taught in this way, what indolence is there in those who know the Dhamma? Therefore, one should receive training in the Blessed One's teaching, always revering. 1246. The elder who was enlightened in succession to the Buddha, Khuddaka, strong in energy, is repeatedly the gainer of abidings in happiness and seclusions. 1247. What is to be obtained by a disciple doing the teaching of the teacher? All this has been obtained by him, vigilant, training himself. 1248. With great power and triple knowledge, skilled in knowledge of other people's thoughts, Khuddaka, the heir of the Buddha, pays homage to the teacher's feet. 1249. Disciples with triple knowledge, having left death behind, attend upon the sage who has reached the far shore of pain, as he sits upon the mountainside. 1250. Moggallana, who has great supernormal powers, scrutinizes with his mind, seeking in them a mind which is completely released, without basis for rebirth. 1251. So they attend upon Gautama the sage, who is possessed of all attributes, having reached the far shore of pain, possessed of many qualities. 1252. As when the clouds have gone, the moon shines in the sky, like the spotless sun, even so, Angirasa, do you outshine the whole world by your fame, great sage. 1253. Drunk with skill in composing poetry, formerly we wandered from village to village, from city to city. Then we saw the enlightened one who had reached the far shore of all phenomena. Sorry for a moment. So from here we see Vangisa was formerly a poet. He used to go here and go there and composing poetry. 1254. That sage who has reached the far shore of pain taught me the Dhamma. Hearing the Dhamma we believed. Faith arose in us. 1255. Hearing his utterance and learning of the elements of existence, the sense bases and the elements, I went forth into the homeless state. 1256. Truly, Tathagatas come into existence for the sake of the many men and women who do their teaching. 1257. Truly, the sage attain enlightenment for the sake of those monks and nuns who are seers of what is subject to unchangeable rule. 1258. The Four Noble Truths are well taught by the one with vision, the Buddha, kinsman of the sun, from sympathy for living creatures. 1259. Pain, the uprising of pain and the overcoming of pain, the Noble Eightfold Path leading to the quiescence of pain. 1260. Thus these have been uttered in this way. They have been seen by me just as they are. I have obtained the true goal. The Buddha's teaching has been done. 1261. Truly was this welcome for me the presence of the Buddha. Among the things shared out among men, I obtained the best. 1262. I have obtained perfection of supernormal knowledge. I am purified in respect of the ear element. I have the triple knowledge and I possess psychic powers. I am skilled in the knowledge of other people's thoughts. 1263. I asked the teacher who has perfect wisdom, who is the cutter of uncertainties in the world of phenomena. As a monk died at Agalava, well known, famous, with self completely quenched. This one, he's asking the Buddha about Nigrodha Kappa. Nigrodha Kappa was his preceptor, so he had not seen his preceptor for some time, and then he heard his preceptor Nigrodha Kappa passed away, so he wanted the Buddha to confirm that Nigrodha Kappa was already an Arahant. 1264. The name Nigrodha Kappa was given to that Brahmana by you, Blessed One. Longing for release, putting forth energy, he wandered about revering you, seer of what is firm by nature. 1265. Sakka, one of all-round vision, we all wish to know of that disciple. Our ears are ready to hear. You are indeed the teacher, you are unsurpassed. 1266. Cut away our uncertainty. Tell me this. Tell us, one of great wisdom, that he is completely quenched. Speak in the very midst of us, one of all-round vision, like Sakka, the 1,000-eyed one in the midst of the Devas. 1267. Whatever ties are here, ways to delusion, taking the side of ignorance, basis of uncertainty, they do not exist when they reach the Tathagata, for that I is supreme among men. 1268. For if no man were ever to disperse defilements, as the wind disperses a mass of clouds, the whole world enveloped would be darkness indeed. Even illustrious men would not gleam. 1269. But wise men are light makers. Therefore, wise one, I think that you are so. We have come to one who sees by insight and knows. Reveal Kappa's fate to us in the assemblies. 1270. Quickly send forth your beautiful voice, beautiful one, like a goose stretching out its neck, honking gently, with rounded voice well modulated. Upright, we all listen to you. 1271. I shall make the one who has eliminated birth and death, having restrained all, being purified, speak about the Dhamma. For among the ordinary individuals, there is no one who acts according to his desires, but among the Tathagatas, there is one who acts with a set purpose. 1272. Your full explanation is accepted, for you have perfect wisdom. This last salutation is proffered, since you know, do not delude us, one of superior wisdom. 1273. Knowing the noble Dhamma from top to bottom, do not delude us, since you know, one of perfect energy. I long for your voice, as one longs for water when burned by heat in summer. Rain on our ears. 1274. Surely the useful, virtuous life that Kapayana lived was not in vain. Did he gain quenching, or was he without any grasping remainder, as one who is completely released? Let us hear it. And the Buddha said, 1275, he has cut off craving for nama-rupa, mentality and materiality in this world, the stream of craving which has been latent in him. He has passed beyond all birth and death. So spoke the Blessed One, the best of the five. 1276. Hearing your voice, best of the sages, I believe. Truly my question was not in vain. The Brahmana did not deceive me. 1277. As he spoke, so he acted. He was the Buddha's disciple. He cut the strong, stretched out net of deceitful death. 1278. Kapya saw the beginning of grasping, Blessed One. Kapayana has truly passed beyond the realm of death, which is very hard to cross. 1279. I pay homage to you as Deva of Devas, best of men. I pay homage to your son, who is following your example, a great hero, a Naga, true son of a Naga. So this, he's talking about his teacher, his preceptor. He's a great hero, a Naga, the son of the Buddha, who is another Naga. Okay, so we have finished the Theragatha. Took us 7 nights, I think, to discuss. Tomorrow we'll do the last book, Theragatha.
Okay, so I recall in one of the stories in the Sutta, when one of the Brahmins passed away and the other Brahmins were chanting, asking the spirit to fly up, and then they asked the Buddha if that is useful, and then the Buddha said, it's like give a simile of throwing a stone in the water. He said, and then you ask the stone to fly up, but doesn't mean the stone will rise up. So it does seem that what is the purpose of our chanting?
No, it's a tradition. It's a tradition. You find that the chants that we do, one is the morning chant, one is the evening chant. The morning and evening chant are actually praises of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, like we look at the meaning. Then the others are basically paritas. Paritas are protection verses. And some of them can be useful. For example, the Ratana Sutta was taught by the Yaka king to the Buddha. And he advised the Buddha to teach this Parita, Ratana Sutta, to the monks who live in the forest. Because when they live alone in the forest, they might encounter these fierce yakas. So when they chant this verse, it protects them. And then you have others like the Karanya Metta Sutta. If a monk goes into the forest and he chants this Karanya Metta Sutta, he's making, he's letting the devas and the spirits around know that he comes in peace. His loving kindness towards all beings. So telling them not to harm him is also useful. Another one is the one we chant about the footless beings, 2-footed beings, 4-footed beings, and many-footed beings. And that is a very useful protection. What's the name of that parita? Kanda parita. So that Kanda parita, when you live alone in the forest, before you go to sleep, normally you want to chant this, telling all the beings not to harm you. So, what you mentioned just now about that Brahmins, they didn't do any chant. Nothing to do with chant. What happened is that when one of the relatives passes away, they will quickly take out his corpse and hold his corpse as high as possible and facing the sky. And they tell his soul, suppose his name is Ali. Ali, do you see heaven there? Just look up, you see heaven. Make your way there. Make your way there. So they believe by directing him to go to heaven, his soul will go to heaven. Then they ask the Buddha, Bhagavan, now you are Arahant Sammasambuddha. Surely you can bring everybody to heaven. Nothing to do with chanting. It's just a belief. They're asking the Buddha whether the Buddha can use his psychic power to bring everybody to heaven. Then the Buddha, instead of answering this silly question, the Buddha asks him back in return, suppose now all of you village people, you go to the edge of a lake and you take a big stone and you throw the big stone into the lake and the stone is sinking and you shout to the stone, ask the stone to float up. Will it float up? I will not float up. So the Buddha is using this simile. So it's not to do with chanting. It's just more to do with shouting at the stone.
Just want to verify the story about how Mahathera faced tragic death. Is there any way to verify that when he was killed by robbers and how he lost his psychic power?
Absolutely not. There's nothing of this mentioned in the suttas, and I find it a bit far-fetched that, especially the way they describe the sutta, that he was beaten up by the robbers and his body was smashed up and all that. And after the robbers left, even though his body was smashed up, he had entered samadhi and then he assembled his whole body again and then went to inform the Buddha before he really entered Nibbana. It's too far-fetched to believe.
The other one is Bhante. I can't remember where I read it, that Buddha was praised for guiding new monks to attain vision of the Dhamma, while Venerable Moggallana returned to higher states. I can't remember which Buddha, but is this possible?
Venerable Sariputta, we see in the suttas that there were at least one or two occasions when he taught the Dhamma, the monks attained arahanthood. But actually, we don't see in the suttas Venerable Moggallana leading the monks into arahanthood. So I don't know why it's mentioned there like that. It might have been something added by later monks.
Then we see that Buddha always refers to Venerable Sariputta as the Arahant who could turn the Dhammavuddho as well as him, and not mentioning, except for Mahathera who can teach the Dhamma. The other one is Wangisa. Is he the one who was the star helper? Was to get the star before?
No, that was an external sect ascetic. Might have had the same name, but there was an external sect ascetic.
First, he says that he has psychic power and it's mentioned in verse 1-6. Buddha advised him to develop the science to cast out latent tendency to conceive. So that means that he already had psychic power, like Venerable Ananda who had to struggle with.
Yeah, I think somewhere there it says he already has psychic power.
So it means to say that psychic power can be an obstruction.
Say again?
Psychic power can either help us or can be a great hindrance to us because of the tendency to conceive when we have psychic power.
That is before enlightenment, yeah. Psychic powers also are of two kinds. One is where the person attains the psychic powers himself. Then there's another type where they use mantra to control spirits and make use of the spirit psychic powers. The second type is getting more common, or maybe last time also it was common, but it's not something that holy men use, not something like a real monk will use. Only deviant people will use these spirits.
I would think when Sukha said when Dhammavuddho, Dhammavuddho, they are from the same clan, and we believe that they are Mahathera. They tend to, they are the same group, and we believe that they sit to sitting position, and we also believe that Dhammavuddho practices as it is the Dhamma. So you really distinguish like Mahathera, the other distinguish that they belong to this group practice.
No, nothing to do with that. It's an individual practice. No, nothing to do with that. It's an individual practice.
One more is on here we get person who has gone forth to learn to make do with as little as they can. So just when can the mind request for things or requisites, things that not given to them, that they don't do well, or they have special attributes, when they can ask?
Generally, monk should not ask a lay person for something unless unless he's given invitation, he's asked what do you need, or because of health, he's not well and he needs some medicine or something it will improve his health, or special food or anything. So unless it is the relative, if it's one's relative, blood relation, one can ask, even without the invitation. In many monasteries, strict monasteries, a monk is not allowed to ask a lay person directly. He should, if the monastery rule is such, then he should, anything he need, he should ask the abbot. It's up to the abbot to arrange for him, if the abbot allows. So if this is the rule in the monastery, then he cannot ask at all. But if there's no such rule in the monastery, then he can ask, provided under those conditions I mentioned, somebody has given an invitation, or he's not well and needs something special, or the relative.
In this case, what about people living in the same community, in the same monastery?
What about lay people?
But lay people, they have special diet because we live there depending on the sangha. Whatever is our needs, we do not buy or sell things that is available within the monastery.
But lay people, if you have the money, you can buy whatever you need. And if you don't have the money, and then you have to ask the abbot to make use of something in the monastery, or from the monastery store or something.
So we choose only because like we have our duties and all. So let's say if we as lay people, there is a request from another resident, another or lay people, and we want to do a service for that person, for example, perhaps do some preparation. Just think that the use is belong to the Sangha or the temple. So which means that we have to seek permission from the abbot first before we...
Yeah, I have to seek permission from the abbot. If you're using anything that belongs to the monastery, you can't use it according to what you like. Even if another layman asks for it, you have to ask the abbot for permission.
And then, because of this five thinking, we call it hero or great.
What page?
Page 54. Hero of great wisdom indeed has several generations in Dhammavuddho and in born. Can I from this say see before and see after the current generation? But how can it help even if let's say
if they are still alive,
If still alive,
yeah.
This is declaration of their evil karma.
No. Cannot cleanse people of their evil karma. It just inspire them, Inspire them to have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and to practice the Dhamma. Last time, before I became a monk, my mother never heard the Dhamma and never kept the precept and all that. She didn't know about precept. After I became a monk, I gave Dhamma talks, and then I gave the talks to her to listen, and after listening to the talks, I think it had some effect. Also, as I mentioned before, when somebody renounces, it gives pain to the family members, right? That pain is a lesson of impermanence. Then they will wake up to the fact that everything in this world is impermanent. Somebody that they love so much is gone away from them. And the fact that they wake up is good for them. If they don't wake up at that time, I suppose like the beloved family member does not renounce, then on their deathbed only they will see that impermanence. At that time, they shed tears, they can't do anything already. But if they shed tears earlier, suppose now Brother Goy renounces, family members are all upset. And there's more incentive after that for them to practice the Dhamma.
You of great wisdom applies to a monk or to a monk or those that
This one, he mentions here, a hero of great wisdom should be Arahant or an Arya. Like here he's talking about the Buddha, isn't it? So he's talking about the Buddha, then the Buddha, because of his psychic power, even if his grandparents have passed away or his great-grandparents, he can go to and teach them the Dhamma in heaven or wherever they are. One-1-0.
Verse 1-2-0.
Okay.
Why did the statement say that the Dhaka, is it referring to Mahathera?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Mahathera.
Sometimes the devas are referred to as Yakala.
I also came across this word called Sura.
What?
Sura. What is Sura?
I have to check the Pali dictionary.
097 under the number Dhammavuddho, and mentioned that start on ascending on Giri Bhaja.
What page?
Page 100.
100. Verse
1097.
1097.
My question is, Giri Bhaja refers to place?
Yeah, hill. I think Giri Bhaja is a hill. Okay, can we end here?